Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I am your host, Johnny Hellcat. With me today are Minions the Hate Camel.
Good evening.
And Della Hayes.
Hello.
How you fellas doing today?
Oh, could be better, could be worse.
Indeed.
Yeah.
What is your park story? I think that's really hilarious next to this tweet.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it before, and it bears repeating. Leave the wildlife alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty simple. I don't know why it's so hard to comprehend.
Not everything is friend-shaped. So, yeah, keep your hands to yourself. Maintain a safe distance. All that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, James. Hey, Raymond. How's it going?
How's it going, fellas?
No, today was my Monday, work-wise.
Oh, neat.
And I was going to try and mow a couple of yards after work, and then it decided to rain again. It had just barely, dried out from the last, week of rain.
Uh-huh.
So,
Hey, Hammer.
maybe tomorrow?
Well, fingers crossed.
Tomorrow, question mark?
Well, there's one I really do need to get done, but that's because my local police department sent me certified mail. They spent nearly $9 to mail a letter to me. And when I say mail, I mean 3 blocks
Yeah.
from City Hall to the post office. They spent $9, to do certified mail. Tell me that I had to, I had a nuisance violation for high grass and weeds at a property that I do not own nor live at. But
That's
I
cool.
am the owner of record, according to the county clerk's office, because I paid the property taxes.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they said if I don't cut the grass, they'll do it for me, and they'll charge me, put a lien on the property if I don't pay it. I was like, fine, I'll cut the fucking grass.
Man, they really know how to
When
fuck
it
you over.
dries out. So,
Hey, Johnny Blaze.
Well, you know what they say. The sun will come out tomorrow.
And then tomorrow comes, and it's still today.
I mean, I have it on good authority that someday never comes.
But how do you know? Maybe we just haven't seen it yet.
I mean, I trust John Fogerty.
Mm,
I don't think he would lie to me.
I don't trust anyone who's got a name I can't spell.
You can't spell John?
Man! I always confuse John spelling with Fawn spelling. It's rather embarrassing, okay?
How's it going, Frosted?
And now everybody's singing Annie in the chat.
You're welcome.
You know, as I said earlier, tomorrow,
Apparently nobody in chat
comes,
knows Credence.
Tomorrow comes and it's still today. It just makes Annie more depressing. Because that sun's never coming out.
mean, to be fair, for a movie about orphans, it really wasn't depressing enough.
Yeah.
But no, I had to go to a doctor's appointment in the middle of my work day today, which was fun. I had to clock out and drive down the street and go talk to the Indians about my health.
That must have been fun.
Apparently I am pre-diabetic.
Oh.
So, keeping the stereotypes alive.
My man.
Yeah, the doctor, because it was our first, hey Johnny, how's it going? It was our first appointment. So he's, trying to get to know me as well as I'm trying to get to know him, and I don't think I like this dude. But yeah, he told me the only two things that concerned him about my workup, the glucose levels, right? Blood glucose levels, and apparently I tested positive for marijuana.
You?
Gasp.
That's what I said, right? Like, what?
Le Choc?
J'accuse.
I have it on good authority. That is a lies and slander, sir.
Of the outlandish variety.
But yeah, he said, so, like my, he put me on a drug for the sugar beaties.
I thought that lamb's blood tasted funny there, Frosted.
And I heard an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but that all depends on how hard you throw it.
I was thinking the same thing.
But yeah, so he's like, my recommendation, try to avoid, a bunch of carbs, sweets, sugary drinks, and lay off the marijuana. Those will help your mood. You'll start feeling better. Because originally I went in for behavioral health.
Hey, Rodden.
I was like, fuck it. I'm tired of being depressed and angry all the time. So we're gonna try better living through chemistry. And had to do all these labs and stuff before I could get the psych referral. I was like, so I come in here originally because I'm depressed, and your advice to me is to give up the two things in this world right now that actually get my ass out of bed in the morning. Doc, I don't think you and I are gonna get along.
Exactly, Frosted.
Usually I eat the junk food first, and then I do it backwards, Frosted.
Yeah, fair enough.
I get my munchies sorted before I smoke.
Same.
I was never that organized. It came afterwards for me, and it was more like, oh, wait, we need munchies. What do we have? And then it's just us rummaging through our cabinet and discovering that we actually have to work to feed ourselves with what we have.
Yes, Johnny Blaze, cigarettes when I have a little extra money. He didn't mention anything about me smoking a fucking pack a day.
Right.
For the past 20 years.
Fucking failed to neglect. Neglected to notice.
Get the carton of menthols. Those menthols.
I do love menthols.
Ain't nothing wrong with menthols once in a while.
Especially when you're sick. The California legislature.
Especially when you're sick, man. Those are good. They're good. Make it easier to smoke when you're sick.
I'm thinking I might like go all Smokey and the Bandit and like just smuggle a truckload of menthols to Fugi out in California.
The hero we don't deserve but truly need.
Did you know that, Johnny? They got rid of menthols and they got rid of flavored tobacco.
Yeah.
In California.
Yeah, they did that in Canada too.
What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Trudeau. Need I say more?
Yeah, that's one guy. You know, like you can't blame all of it on him.
No, but it's a good start.
Yeah. And there's like the rest of his party. There's
I'm sorry.
Rest of the people that are involved, in his little coalition. There's all the people that voted for him.
Did you want to waste the entirety of the stream pretending we actually give a fuck to list it off?
Long Mr. Popo. Ah. But yeah, that was my day. Oh wait, also I have doubled the amount of dogs that I have now.
Oh.
And how's it going, Quiz?
Hey, how's it going?
Quiz!
Ow.
Buddy! It's been so long.
It has. How's it going?
It's going, man. Just working and trying to avoid any and all news.
I hear you on that front.
I just recently finished reading Invincible. I'm never gonna watch the show now.
I'll say Robert Kirkman. I've heard did a really good job with that comic. So I've not read it personally yet, but yeah,
I read it online. Yeah.
Okay.
But no, like I read like a collected. I don't know. It was like I don't know how many volumes they had at the library of like The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say I think I got at least 100 issues deep.
Yeah, Walking.
No, go ahead.
But Walking Dead is like one of those comics where it's like I can tell you that without a doubt it is good. It's worthy of its praise. But it's one of those comics that definitely, if it loses your attention span, don't feel bad, because it did me. I've not finished it. I have all of the rest of it downloaded. Like, I have every issue downloaded, and I think I stopped somewhere around, like, issue 200, and I just haven't had that much interest to go back to it. I know Cynical Lindsay and I used to have regular streams where we would talk about Walking Dead in particular and compare it with the TV show. Yeah. But even then, I stopped watching the TV show too. So
yeah, I stopped. I wouldn't say relatively early. About halfway through, I would say about. I think it was about halfway after the prison season.
Yeah,
for TV show.
Yeah.
You ever read the comic?
I have not.
I stopped watching the TV show after like season 3 because
it plays very different than the comic. The comic is hardcore to that sequence.
But no, like they just diverged so much from the show to the comic. I'm one of those people like, just give me a faithful adaptation, as faithfully as you can for whatever medium you're doing. If it's a TV show or a movie, I understand you're not going to be able to do everything exactly the same, but try and get close.
Yeah, I can agree with that. The major
I can't watch Reacher. I can't watch,
I'm trying to think of like anything that I've watched recently that's like really faithful to source material.
I can't watch, like I said, can't watch Reacher, can't watch The Boys, can't watch. You know what started it all for me? Preacher.
Reacher.
Yeah, that TV show. The only thing they got right was like the the German bad guy.
Mm.
Everything else was fucked from the comics.
Yeah, even as someone who hasn't read, I'm a Wikipedia historian when it comes to these kind of things. So it's
Johnny Blaze listed. He said another one, the terminal list. I didn't make it like 20 minutes into the first episode. Like I started watching that right after watching season 1 of Reacher, and they changed enough in Reacher. Like I was pausing like every 30 seconds or something. My girlfriend decided she was never going to watch another show with me if it was based on a book that I'd read. I was like, they changed this. They changed that.
I didn't know that was based off of something like that. So
What, Reacher?
Well, like the Terminal List.
Yeah.
And I knew that they were based off of the comic books, but I never.
Did you actually watch the whole show?
We got to the end, and we kind of just don't care.
Well, like the episode where like he meets the reporter and they get ambushed.
Yeah.
Like the guy he shoots in the car, that's the author.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it symbolic?
No, he's involved with the show. You know, like I think he was writing scripts and stuff.
Okay.
I've heard that apparently, you know, there you know, a lot of veterans who like the show. You know, PTSD, the way they portrayed it and whatnot. I was like, okay, but why did they change the initial incident from Afghanistan to Syria? We were still in fucking Afghanistan. And like,
I mean,
you take them walking. You take them walking, like, you know, walking into some place in Afghanistan, you know, like in the mountains, and you put them in a fucking sewer in Syria. Like, how does that make?
I get that there's some things that, like, you know, for some of that kind of stuff, it's like just a bridge too far for some people. I get it; it happens to me too. But you know, for some of those like adaptations and things like that, they have to make those kinds of, you know, choices because they can't get a location that looks good enough for the source material, or you know, they're prevented from being able to film in a location that would be convincing for said location. Yeah, there's tons and tons of different reasons why something like that can happen, and you know, it all just comes down to the individual person whether or not they can take those bridges, you know, one too far.
Well, like season 2 of Reacher, they did the same thing. they changed, you know, like the location of the plot. The book they based season 2 off of takes place in Los Angeles and like Nevada, like Vegas. But like in the show, I think it's all like based in New York.
New York and Atlantic City.
Ew, New Jersey. Ugh.
Yeah, right. So, I was like, you know what? I like Alan Richardson, you know, as Reacher. You know, they cast pretty well for that. They had Robert Patrick as the bad guy. I was like, oh man. Like, but then I was like, New York? Go fuck yourself. I'm not watching that. But yeah, it all started for me with Preacher. Like I had read the comic at the library and saw that they were making the show. And I started watching it. I was like, this is complete bullshit. And then, you know, Seth Rogen, fucking producer on that.
Fucking Seth Rogen, man.
And also part of the reason why I won't watch Invincible.
Yeah, I think the only the shows that I watched recently that well, I've got two that I watched recently. That one I highly recommend because it was fantastic. Based on source material, but not necessarily a one-for-one sort of thing for both of them.
Like I said,
I
I don't need a 1-for-1, but I mean, be as faithful as you can for the medium that you're performing in.
Mostly, it's a setting rather than a story. If that makes sense. One is Cyberpunk Edge Runners. That is a fucking masterpiece of animation. It is one of the best things I think I've ever watched ever. It was fantastic through and through. I dreaded watching the last episode for a really long time because I knew everyone was going to die, and it's all like, no, I don't want all these characters to die. But
spoilers.
Well, it's kind of obvious. that's just the way the story kind of goes. But the other one is the new Fallout one, and the first couple of episodes of it I thought were okay. It was weird, but wasn't necessarily disagreeable. And then it got to the bit where they revealed they blew up Shady Sands. And I'm so like, Bethesda's just doing everything in their power to fuck over and erase and bury the original Fallout series, aren't they?
Yeah, I was watching It's a Gundam's video on his review of it. And I'll admit I don't know much of anything about Fallout except for, it's a game filled with Easter eggs.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And he's like, someone got screwed over somewhere, and this show is making them feel it. Like, just because they're just trying to retcon, it seems like they're trying to retcon the original story. Yeah.
The major problem that I've got with this kind of stuff is the fact that, like, Bethesda for the games has been going through and systematically, like, changing things to make their story the story, not any of the story that came before. The one exception is New Vegas, but that's because New Vegas was made by the people that originally made the first two, well, technically three, because Tactics is considered, in my opinion, the best Fallout game. But it was made by the people that made the original games. And so that's the reason why there's things in it that Bethesda doesn't touch, like the new California Republic and Vault 13 and stuff like that. There's like all of the stuff that was originally made in Fallout 1, 2, and Tactics is referenced in New Vegas. But Fallout 3 and 4 is what Bethesda are trying to make the new canon, if that makes sense. And the show is just, it's for the proof that that's what they're trying to do.
Hey, Sanguine.
Hello, how goes?
Hey, how's it going, Sanguine?
How's it going, Six?
I'm doing fantastic. I just made probably one of the more delicious dinners that I've had in a little bit, just because I ground the meat myself.
Mm.
And oh good God, using pork belly that you grind yourself and then turning it into pork Salisbury steak. Oh,
That does sound
so
pretty
fucking
good.
good.
Yeah.
And I did a really nice coarse grind of the meat as well, so it has that texture to it.
Mm-hmm. That reminds me, I've got some ground lamb in the freezer I should probably use. I was originally going to make shepherd's pie with it, but I think I'm just going to say fuck it and just make some lamb burgers.
Mm-hmm. Both are absolutely delicious.
Oh yeah, lamb is great. I fucking love lamb. It's just expensive as fuck.
Oh my God, that's a real thing. Frosted?
What?
A Gollum movie.
Oh really? They're gonna make a Gollum movie? I saw that Amazon was gonna do something with Lord of the Rings, and that they were consulting Peter Jackson about it.
The Hunt for Gollum in 2026.
Didn't they do a Gollum game and it was god-awful?
Yes.
Did, yeah.
Yeah, Ten played it on stream, and everyone kept on making fun of her the entire time. It was pretty funny.
Isn't Andy Serkis like a pensioner now? Like, how's that motion capture going to work when he's, like old and arthritic.
I have no idea. So yeah, he can't really. Well, you know.
Oh, starring
he could
and
just
directed
probably-
by Andy Serkis.
He could be just doing the voice, and someone else more wise and nimble actually does the mocap.
I don't know. He seems pretty dedicated to doing that mocap.
Yeah, I don't think that he's the sort that would turn down having to be all nimbly bimbly in that mocap suit again.
I will cripple myself for this role.
Yep.
Okay, maybe Lord of the Rings, but an Amazon movie?
I don't know. They both are waning in any kind of.
I still haven't seen Lord of the Rings.
You know,
Fantasy's
it's
not
coming
really
up.
my genre.
It's coming up. Check the website here. Well, fuck it. I'm in front of the computer. I can check it. Fathom events. If you've not heard of Fathom events, I highly recommend checking them regularly. It's really fucking cool. They do. They like hire out certain theaters, and they play like weird off, market off whatever, movies. They sometimes do things like ballet. They sometimes do things like theater, and they'll play those on the big screen at an actual movie theater, which is really fucking cool. I saw The Killing Joke in theaters when it came out. But I know later on this year, Fathom Events is re-showing all 3 Lord of the Rings movies in theaters.
Nice. Though the extended ones, they're long as hell.
It is.
Oh, it is
It
the
is.
extended?
It is the extended,
God.
Yeah.
How
They're not
much-
doing it all in one day either, so you're not going to be sitting there for like 8 hours.
I was gonna say, how much of your day do you have? Like,
Okay, so here we go. It's the extended editions. They're doing Fellowship June 8th to June 20th, or 22nd, sorry. Two Towers June 9th to June 23rd, and Return of the King June 10th to June 24th.
3.5 hours per shot.
As good as the theatrical releases were, yeah, the extendeds are so much better because they add back in certain scenes that were sorely missing from the theatrical.
Yeah. Well, the big one that everyone keeps talking about, for faithfulness to the book, they completely cut Tom Bombadil, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking loathe that character. I don't even really like the books to begin with very much for Lord of the Rings, and so them trimming down some of the fat with ridiculous characters like Tom Bombadil, I'm okay with.
See,
But,
Tom Bombadil is an interesting character, but I agree that he wouldn't have worked very well in the movie.
Yeah, no, it's a pointless sidetrack, and if they tried to cram him into the movie. One thing that is really kind of cool, though, for those who really like anime, annually they do it every year. It's another reason why I say check Fathom Events. They constantly, throughout the entire year, play Studio Ghibli films.
Nice.
Yeah.
And they do it every year. Like right now, we've got the first one coming up is Castle in the Sky. Is it May 20th to May 22nd? Or no, sorry. Nausicaa comes before that. Nausicaa is May 19th and May 21st.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Secret World of Arity, June 9th to June 11th. Oh, South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, getting Bigger, Longer, and Uncut sing-along. June 23rd and June 26th.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see here. Princess Mononoke.
The never-ending story 40th anniversary.
Yup. I saw. Okay, so one of the things that because the local AMC for us is where I go to see the Fathom events, and one of them was the 40th, or was it the 40th or 35th? One of them, it's either 30th or 35th or 40th anniversary of Evil Dead 1. And so I saw Evil Dead 1 in the theater. It was great.
A Blazing Saddles 50th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
The movie that could absolutely not be made today.
Oh, yeah, that's the other one that I definitely want to see. August 25th and 28th, Rear Window. That is one of my favorite Hitchcock movies ever. Mm-hmm. And so I definitely want to see that in the theater.
Why the fuck would they have Mean Girls?
I have no idea. 20th anniversary. That's why.
Questions you don't want answered.
Fifth Element. They're playing Fifth Element in November.
Mean Girls has a massive cult following.
See what I mean?
Are you part of that cult there, Sanguine? Because
no, I just know that it has one. I've never
really want to see.
I haven't seen Rear Window in a long time.
Yeah. I want to see Howl's Moving Castle and My Neighbor Totoro, so those are going to be at the end of the year, though. So, because those are my two favorite Studio Ghibli films.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd have to check that out every so often.
Yeah, like I said, I highly recommend checking it regularly so that way you can keep up on that kind of stuff. And like I said, they play all kinds of weird shit. Like they'll play anime, they'll play classic movies, they'll all sorts of stuff.
A lot of what they advertise, at least as far as our movie theater goes, is mainly opera.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, I have no interest in that.
Yeah, they do more than just opera, but one of their big things is that they'll do opera and stage play and ballets as kind of an effort to bring the more aristocratic
culture
art
to the heathens, as it were.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's effectively the point.
It's like, all right, you uncultured swine, watch this shit.
Yeah, come watch Madame Butterfly or Porgy and Bess.
Mm-hmm.
You racist.
You've played the game that has the spoof of Modern Major General. Might as well see the actual musical.
Wait, what?
In Mass Effect 2.
Oh, you're referring to Mass Effect 2, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, you do know that Pirates of Penzance is itself a parody, right?
Yep, but it was... They took the Modern Major General and they rewrote it for the Solarian character. And he sang that song in Mass Effect 2. But a lot of people haven't seen the original.
It's funny. This is one of my favorite theater stories to tell. Rodgers and Hammerstein, when they wrote Pirates of Penzance, they did it specifically because when they wrote plays back in the day, they got a portion of the ticket sales for any play that was being put on that used their play. It was part of like a licensing fee, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what happened is that there was a whole bunch of like amateur and like local productions that didn't do that, but they played Rodgers and Hammerstein's play called HMS Pinafore.
Mm-hmm.
And they would do that, and so it's essentially 18th century, or no, sorry, it would be 19th century piracy, right? Just like we think of internet piracy today, these guys were going out and doing play piracy. So Rodgers and Hammerstein went and rewrote the entirety of HMS Pinafore, song for song, and changed all the lyrics into Pirates of Penzance specifically to make fun of the people that were stealing HMS Pinafore and putting on their own productions.
Mm-hmm.
So literally all of the songs in HMS Pinafore are in Pirates of Penzance. And Pirates of Penzance recycles 2 songs.
Mm-hmm.
The Pirate King and Modern Major General are both the same song.
Yep. Modern Major General is just such a fucking good song.
Oh yeah, it's fun. I love Pirates of Penzance. It's one of my favorite plays of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember there was one time I saw a production of Pirates of Penzance in a theater in the Round. Now, you guys know what that is?
Yep.
A theater in the Round is,
yeah.
It's essentially a stage with no backdrop, where the audience is completely surrounding the stage. Well, I saw a production of Pirates of Penzance on the theater in the Round, and during one of the scenes, one of the actors flubbed a line, and it caused everyone else on stage to laugh. So everyone just stopped, got their laughs out, and then you just hear very, very, very low, under his breath, he goes, "I'm so fired."
Mm-hmm.
And the audience just laughed, everything. It was great. It was a fun time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Doing live performances like that is a hell of a lot of fun, but it's so much fucking work. Because unlike movies, where you flub a line, and that line gets redone and redone and redone until eventually you get the line right, or they have enough cuts of different parts that you got right that they just went, we're gonna fix it in post. Fuck it.
Oh, you mean like the 30-something cuts of Liam Neeson jumping a fence?
Yep. Or the ungodly number of cuts that you have in a lot of conversations in movies now, where it is, the actor just couldn't say their fucking line. So they have it shift slightly in the perspective to cover up, this is them cutting to a section where he said this particular part of the line correctly, and then, he fucked up the very next part, so we switch over to this camera, and he says that part of the line in this cut.
And then none of the lip dubbing matches.
Well, no, what they do is,
of course,
because they have each section that they just take different camera angles from, the lip dubbing is perfectly fine, because it's the section that they used, they said it right. It's just that they had to do like 30 fucking camera angles and flow between them in order to get the fucking line out in its entirety. Because the bastard couldn't remember the order of the words.
Line.
Mm-hmm.
Parting
it's
is
kind of
such
like
sweet line.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the classic thing where, you know why Captain Kirk had that very weird way of speaking, where he would race through certain parts of the sentence and then he would pause for an extended period of time, and then he would start rambling again, and he would be able to do that section for a little bit, and then it would just be completely lost. You know that weird cadence? Do you know why that was done?
Yeah, Canadians talk funny.
Yeah. Yeah, Hayes.
What?
Not just that. According to Shatner himself, it was because he couldn't remember the fucking lines. So he would pause.
The first responsibility of the actor is to learn their lines.
Yeah, so he would pause to try to remember where the line was, and at times, someone would feed him a section of the line quietly from off camera. And then he would race along to the next section until he realized, oh shit, I forgot again.
See,
and there'd be another pause.
That's how you know that acting is bullshit as a profession. Because you have, people like Shatner or Brando just not even bother to learn their fucking lines. People,
So you're telling me that the reason he had that cadence is because he forgot the line?
Yeah.
So when he was doing rescue 911, he forgot 911?
Possibly, or that was now.
Did he really
just
forget the
part of
line?
joke.
There's something on the wing.
Some thing on the wing.
Because
Quick,
he's
What's
said
the number
that,
for 191?
No, I
He
mean, if
said
you
that the
really
reason
got
for
to
the
show
cadence.
up quickly, Della.
To be fair, it's not 911 in Canada. What is it, Hayes?
It's 911.
Is it?
Yeah.
You're thinking
Oh, okay. I thought
777.
I was going to say I
North
know the
America.
emergency numbers are different. You know,
See,
most
around
places.
here we dial 811.
Yes, when we look for those buried wires and gas lines.
But yeah, it was something that he said in interviews several times that it was because he couldn't remember the fucking line. Hilarious. But also, yeah, it's an absolute condemnation of the craft, as people tend to refer to it when they're being pretentious as fuck.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, like I said,
A genius.
Well,
Marlon
I mean,
Brando and everything, like with The Godfather, like I think they had cue cards, didn't they?
well,
Oh no, like they yeah, they had a cue card. One of them was actually taped to Robert Duvall.
now, in all fairness, there was a time where when you were acting, you had to actually sing the song while you were doing the dances and the taps and all that jazz too.
Mhm.
Nowadays, you can sing the song while standing or whatever it is, have it recorded, and then mouse sync it while you're fucking doing the choreography. You don't have to do it all at once anymore. And, you know,
Mhm.
that's a downright shame, man. There used to be actual fucking talent in acting, and now it's just disappearing.
Yep.
So I think what I'm getting from this, you guys correct me if you got something different, but we should put the gays back in the closet.
I'm not going to say yes, but I'm not going to say no.
Back in the closet, back on the stage.
Get back where you belong. Oh, women in the kitchen, the gays on stage.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that always bugged me. Like everyone talking about, oh, Marlon Brando's such a great. This motherfucker couldn't even learn his goddamn lines.
Yeah, and then you
hear about what was it? The Island of Dr.
You
Moreau.
contrast that with the fact that also Marlon Brando was a method actor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I despise method actors.
You're also a fan of the
Yeah, meth head actors are something I want to watch. Like,
Christopher Lee response to method acting.
Wasn't it like Dustin Hoffman?
Yes, it was Dustin Hoffman, and he was explaining method acting, and Christopher Lee's response was, "Have you ever tried acting?"
Because wasn't he like he'd been like screaming or something to get his throat all raspy? Yeah. I say, dear boy, have you ever considered acting?
Mm-hmm.
But another way you know that acting is bullshit as a profession, Tatum O'Neal.
Who?
Tatum O'Neal, like the youngest Oscar winner, like in history. Like what movie did she get that for? I'm trying to remember now.
Let's see here.
Oh, it was a she.
Right.
Yeah, it's Ryan O'Neal's daughter, Tatum.
Who?
Paper Moon.
Yeah, I never watched that one. But yeah, you're like a literal child won an Oscar. Like that should tell you something.
But it doesn't.
See, when you said O'Neill, I was thinking wasn't that the surname of the two lead actors from Sliders? The two brothers that one of them was the brother
That's
that
O'Connell.
Started the show? Oh,
Yeah,
it was
that's O'Connell.
Okay.
Yeah, Jerry O'Connell.
Yep.
No, I think Tatum O'Neal was in Bad News Bears. the original with Walter Matthau.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan O'Neal, that's her father. If you guys ever watch Bones, he's the actor that played Bones' dad.
Mm.
He was married to Farrah Fawcett.
Okay.
Didn't he get in trouble for something?
Yeah, I'm sure. Quite a bit back in the day.
Oh, and you guys heard the fucked up shit about the Drake and Kendrick.
I don't listen to the hippity hop,
Right.
so no, I don't care.
Oh, his son was involved in a speedboating accident mishap that killed Francis Ford Coppola's 23-year-old son.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Griffin was indicted and charged with manslaughter, convicted on December 19th, 1986, of the negligent operation of a boat, but not guilty of a more serious charge of manslaughter, receiving a $200 fine and placed on 18 months probation.
And Frosted is correcting us in chat. It wasn't Christopher Lee, it was Laurence Olivier.
Oh, it was Laurence Olivier that said that? I thought it was Christopher Lee that was purported to have said it. But the thing that I was wondering if you had heard, I didn't think that you were into either of their music, but the response was just unbelievably, what the fuck?
I've heard different people online talking about it, and as soon as I hear the names Drake or Kendrick Lamar, I just tune the fuck out.
Yep.
I don't care. One's Canadian.
Fair enough. Yeah.
No offense, Della, but I can't take Canadian rappers seriously.
I don't think
Again-
Canada can take Canadian rappers seriously.
The part that was hilarious.
And I used to see his ass on fucking Degrassi. Like my sister.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's the big thing.
Look, let me just say, if you're taking Canadian rappers seriously, get help.
Yep. But
I
again,
was gonna say, yeah, that's a major thing about Drake is the fact that he was a child star turned, adult star. No.
And,
the part that was the what the fuck, though, that I heard about it was he got accused of being a chomo, and his response was, "Man, I knew you'd compare me to Epstein."
Now, I will say there is
What?
an exception to the rule about Canadian rappers, and that is Jonathan Torrens.
never heard of him.
You ever watch Trailer Park Boys?
No.
Okay. Don't worry about it then.
A reference for later.
He doesn't even need to know. It's all good.
Like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of Canadian rappers. Yeah.
There are.
Although never able to convince Farrah Fawcett to marry him, O'Neal did propose various times. Fawcett died at 9:28 p.m. a.m. Pacific Standard Time on June 25th, 2009 at age 62 before she and O'Neal could carry out the ceremony. How bad must you be that I'm going to die so that I don't get married to you?
I would rather die of
Damn.
ass cancer than marry you.
I would rather die
But,
of ass cancer, come back as a zombie, and eat the brains of everyone I love before marrying you.
Well, wasn't a security guard shot over this whole Drake and Kevin Lamar beef?
Again, don't know, don't care.
Say again?
Wasn't a security guard shot over this Kendrick or Kevin Lamar beef?
Kendrick
I have
Lamar.
no clue.
Kevin.
I don't know. I kind of like the fact that he's calling him Kevin. It's funny.
So
So out
Hey,
of touch,
what-
Kevin Lamar.
Let's just keep thinking of all the different K names, like Kyle Lamar, yeah,
Yeah.
Kevin Lamar.
Kenneth Lamar.
Kylie Minogue Lamar.
Sanguine,
Kelvin Lamar.
Sanguine, you're the medical professional of the lot of us here. As Camel has stated, ass cancer. What's the medical term for said cancer?
Colorectal.
Anal cancer.
Yeah.
Coral-
Colorectal.
Colorectal cancer.
Well, here, IMDb has so graciously called it anal cancer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Classy.
which
I love it.
I mean, not the words I would use.
That's how it was
But,
reported.
If it is
Yep.
so, colorectal cancer is the general name because it's anything from the colon to the rectum.
Yeah.
There is something called the anal canal. So if you have cancer of the anal canal, technically it would be anal cancer. But it would fall under the umbrella of colorectal.
But I suppose by then
gonna say,
they weren't
that's-
using colorectal as the medical term. It was anal.
Well, that's how it was reported, was as anal cancer.
That's weird.
So it probably was specifically cancer of the anal canal.
No, I just thought it was weird that they have it labeled on there as anal cancer.
hmm
But yeah,
Because, yeah.
I just used the layman's term, ass cancer.
So,
Yeah.
Quiz, you know how I messaged you that one time that I'm just like, I'm trying to find the song. I don't know the song, but I know who sings the song. I have officially, finally, and even though I was thinking it was 9mm and a 3-piece suit, it's not that one.
Okay. No, it's not.
It's Day In, Day Out.
Okay.
That is the song that I have been playing in my head for like 20 years, trying to think of what that song was.
Just go on Pandora and like put on any ska as as the channel, and they'll play nothing but fucking Streetlight Manifesto. They'll go through like the entirety of Streetlight Manifesto's entire like discography before they play. Less Than Jake.
I thought it was funny because I do have Less Than Jake on Pandora, Less Than Jake and Real Big Fish, and I put in Less Than Jake, and they played Streetlight Manifesto, Less Than Jake, Catch 22, back to Streetlight Manifesto, the short song from Less Than Jake, and then back to Catch 22.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I was gonna say, I actually had to go into my my settings for it and tell them to play less Streetlight Manifesto, because that's all it would play. It would play like back to back, like 4 or 5 Streetlight Manifesto songs,
yeah.
and then maybe play like one Less Than Jake song. And I'm like, this is a Less Than Jake channel.
Yeah, like most of the stuff when I listen to like, because I listen to the Maximum the Hormone channel on Pandora, and usually it'll like, typically when I don't listen to it for a while, it'll start Maximum the Hormone and then just kind of go from there. And I had one where I think it had been like 2 weeks before I'd listened to it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably jump back into that. And it played everything but. And even though I was just like, all right, end the app, start it back up, not playing it, okay, end the app, start it back up, not playing it, okay, end the app, start it back up. And I'm like, you know what, fine, I'm just gonna play this, I don't even care. But Spotify is actually how I found it, rather than Pandora, because I went through the entire discography to try and find the song. And yeah, after so long, I finally found it.
Nice.
So I gotta ask, because it's me. How many Gilgamesh songs played in your Maximum the Hormone channel?
A lot. Yeah, it's I think it's the second most played band, other than the Gazette.
And every single time you hear one of their songs, you can't help but think of that video.
Yeah, that guy is forever tainted. Like
Sakura-Khan.
And what's really funny?
09.
What's really funny is I was on a work break, and I was walking past the IT department, and they were talking about Final Fantasy, and they brought up Gilgamesh, and even that was just kind of like, God damn it! Like, get out of my head. It's like, yeah, you know what? Sakura-Khan is just there.
Mm-hmm. Holy shit, man, the harpoons!
Also, when you asked how many times I didn't quite hear the words that you said, but it had the exact cadence of Garbage Day!
Garbage Day! Have you not seen the Sakura-Khan 09 promotional video, Sanguine?
I don't think I have.
Oh, man.
Do you not know about the cringy weeb Garugamesh meme?
That one sounds familiar, but I can't picture it in my head.
I'll have to see if I can find it and post it, because, yeah. Is it old enough that we can actually play it and not get flagged for it? But I think we get flagged for it regardless, so I'm going to...
It depends. I mean, you can probably play the dub parody, and it's fine.
That is
Plus, I mean, conventions don't like go around flagging people. I don't think. Right?
It is only 31 seconds. I don't see... let's see if we have a problem. Let's hammer it up tonight. Let's try it like that. Let's try it that way.
There you go. There you go. Play fast and loose with the YouTube rules.
All right, I'll see if I can get this pulled up.
Us play fast and loose with the YouTube rules? How dare you suggest that to us, of all people?
No, fuck you, Susan!
It's like he doesn't even know us.
Inquisitor, you forget, it's now male Susan.
Oh, whatever. It's still Susan.
As opposed to the previous male Susan?
Opposed to female Susan.
Don't
I
want
just
to
put up the
misgender
air quotes right
Susan.
now. Don't try.
Hopefully the air quotes came across in the books.
Yep, they were pretty easy to spot,
Okay.
even with one eye.
All right, so I will share on here. Audio is on, so that should work. Scene transition. All right, testing. You hear that all right?
No.
I don't hear a thing.
It probably...
I love.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, okay.
I had to turn it up a little
And
bit.
this is the real one. This isn't the dump.
Yep, nope, we're going for it.
Okay.
I love sushi.
I love Japan, period.
The tea ceremonies. J-Rock. Yeah.
Garugamesh!
Oh yeah. And manga.
And gaming! Oh, DDR!
Smiley K.
Hey! Sakura-kong ikimasu!
Don't just talk about it. Check out Sakura-Con, April 10 through 12. Check sakuracon.org for all the details.
Yeah, that's...
This is one of my favorite meme formats of the Garugamesh meme. Is it's got the Japanese guy there, just looking really neutral, but then like the perfect still of him holding a dagger, holding that knife, and like narrowing his eyes. It's sandwiched in between is the Garugamesh guy. So he's got neutral, and then Garugamesh, and then he's just holding the knife like, motherfucker, I'm gonna stab you.
Garugamesh.
Garugamesh!
Oh god, that still makes me chuckle.
I remember there was like a couple of months where I would just send Johnny a new Garugamesh meme. It was really funny.
Yeah, like Garuga Bear.
Yeah, Garuga Bear, yeah.
Oh my goodness, those were. You still gotta be there. See if we can pull this one up here.
Oh, there it is! That's my favorite one. Motherfucker. It was funny too because I saw that one on 4chan a long time ago, and then I couldn't find it anymore, so I just said fuck it, and I went and I remade it from memory. Like I went there and I found the video, and I just, and then I went and I just I just went and like remade it.
The shining one. Oh god.
That guy is the stereotypical late 90s, early aughts.
And yeah, like
And all this came up because there was one time where it was Johnny and I got together, and it was like, you know, like a Sunday afternoon or something like that. He was just like, hey man, you know, I've been listening to a lot of, you know, Japanese like metal and stuff like that, and that was when you asked me about the Streetlight Manifesto song, and we got to talking about Japanese music, and then you brought up Garugamesh, and I just started losing my shit. I thought it was the funniest thing ever because you didn't know about the meme, so I had to introduce the meme to
absolutely
you.
not. And then like that night when I was going to bed, I actually could not stop laughing. My wife's just like, stop. Like I would just get settled down, and all of a sudden I was just in the back of your head, you just hear Garugamesh, and I would just start crying.
So you have to wonder, was that direction that led to that, or was that just how the guy fucking said it?
That's how
I'm
the guy
sure
says
that's
it.
how the guy fucking said it. Yeah, I'm sure there was no direction there at all. Like, if there was any kind of direction, like, you know, for that spot, it was done by the same kind of cringy autists that would go to SakuraCon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Remember, this is 2009, so anime was still, like, really, really niche. Like, it wasn't as mega popular as it is now.
Yeah, like I said though, that had all the cadence of Garbage Day.
Garbage Day!
Oh man.
Which is a hell of a lot more halting than even today is Friday in California.
Today is Friday in California. Ah, shoot!
Oh yeah. I wonder if I even have that.
He can't play it until tomorrow. Or, wait, hold on.
I mean, 20 minutes.
20 minutes, yeah.
This is Thursday. We don't give a shit about East Coast time.
Yeah. You only care about Central.
Exactly. The proper time zone.
I mean, Mountain is the most important, but let's not
Right.
mince words here.
It is literally the
mean,
peak.
it is the most
It is
important.
literally the peak time zone.
Yeah, if you're a moose.
We outnumber you here in the Central, so, yeah.
Yeah, but the stream is running on Mountain Time, literally.
Precisely.
Facts outweigh your feelings, boys.
There's no feeling. The fact that we outnumber you is quite clearly a fact.
And the fact that you feel like that matters is outweighed by.
I'm sorry, what?
Who gets camel power?
Unfortunately, I did.
Worth it. Worth it.
Yeah, this is not a democracy. It's a benevolent dictatorship, all right?
It's the same thing I tell the dogs at work.
It's been a while since we played that one too.
Oh, dude, has it really been that long?
Actually, it has.
So I made the mistake the other night of asking, a friend group if they wanted to watch the roast of Tom Brady. Quiz. That thing lasted 3 hours.
I'm unaware. Is that like the newest one of Comedy Central's roast?
No,
or
it was
something?
Netflix.
That was a live Netflix one, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize Netflix is doing live content now.
But why Tom Brady of all people?
So that they could, make fun of him for his wife leaving him and him being gay.
And getting a boner for Robert Kraft.
Yeah. Apparently, Jeff Ross made a joke about Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, and Tom Brady walked up to him, like in the middle of it, and was like, "Yeah, don't say that shit again." So, I honestly, there were like 2 roasters that were really good. One was Julian, was it Edelman? One of the teammates from the Patriots. His was probably the best. And then comedian was Nikki Glazer. She did pretty good. But yeah, it was the quality compared to like some of the old Comedy Central roasts was just horrible.
I say normally when those roasts come out, it's usually like a comedian that they're roasting. But then I was thinking about it.
Not always. You had
they did
Mike Tyson. They did Mike Tyson. They did Trump.
Pamela
Anderson.
Bob Saget.
Well, Bob Saget was a comedian.
Bob Saget's a comedian.
Yeah. Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav. Yep.
I would say Flavor Flav is a comedian too.
Not
purposely,
no.
He's a musical prodigy.
Not on purpose.
Exactly.
Charlie Sheen, part of the Digital Underground?
Huh?
What?
Wasn't he part of Digital Underground, Flavor Flav?
Run DMC.
That was Tupac. Tupac was on...
okay.
No, not Run DMC. Public Enemy.
Public Enemy. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Tupac was Digital Underground. Yeah, he was Public Enemy.
Well, Tupac was a background dancer in the Humpty Dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people ask Chuck D, is like, why do you guys have Flavor Flav around anyway? He's like, man, that dude can play like 20 some odd instruments. I can barely play the lotto. Like, there's video of Flavor Flav playing drums, and like, yeah, he can fucking get it, dude. But I mean, he's also a prime example of why crack is whack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I do have a challenge for you here, Chris. Being
okay.
Because the reason why I called this one the Ska Show actually is because I saw a tweet from Less Than Jake with a set list. And the quote on there is, "What is your dream Less Than Jake set list?"
Oh. Okay. because I know Less Than Jake recently started doing shows where they just go and they play the entirety of Hello Rockview.
Yeah.
So I don't want to just say a whole album. But I'm fairly certain, like, if you pick a good, like, 3 or 4 songs from each album, it would be an amazing show.
Oh,
Something like, obviously from Anthem, you got to do Science of Selling Yourself Short.
Yeah.
That's, like, their best song from that album. Then probably Ghost of Me and You is a really good one. And then She's Gonna Break Soon. Let's go 3 for each album. Automatic from Losing Streak. You got Automatic, Dope Man, and Johnny Quest Thinks for Sellouts.
I would possibly switch out Automatic for Crazy Glue.
Crazy Glue's good too. I don't know. I just think Automatic is just a
it's a good opener.
just a more iconic song from them. Yeah, absolutely. It's hands down one of the best first songs on their albums. Oh God, let's see here. Oh man. Oh God. Let me hold on. Let me pull out their albums so I can see the track lists. In With the Out Crowd is going to be a weird one because like not a lot of the songs on In With the Out Crowd sound like a regular Less Than Jake song.
It was a really different album, but it was really good.
It was. Yeah. I really like. Oh God. What was the name of that one? The Rest of My Life is a really good one.
Yeah.
And then Overrated. I know those 2 are probably my favorite songs on that album.
Yeah.
I struggle to think of another one from that album. Well, the big one is Hello Rockview. Gotta think of one for Hello Rockview.
Hello Rockview has got to be the best. It would be the hardest to pick from.
Yeah. Well, an honorable mention too for Losing Streak. Probably my favorite song, but not a whole lot of other people's favorite song is Sugar in Your Gas Tank.
Yeah, I do like that one.
That's probably my favorite song on Losing Streak. Oh God, okay, Hello Rockview. Obviously, you got to have All My Best Friends Are Metalheads.
Yeah.
That one's a standard. It has to be.
I really liked Nervous in the Alley.
Nervous in the Alley is a really good one too. I really like the Nervous in the Alley. Scott Farkas Takes It on the Chin is another one that one's been around for a long time for for Less Than Jake. But I think it's probably the best in Hello Rockview. All of their earlier editions were kind of but the other big one is History of a Boring Town.
Yeah.
But I personally like Big Crash more than History of a Boring Town.
Yeah, Big Crash is, I would say, is better than that. I did karaoke version of History of a Boring Town, and people just looked at me like I was crazy. And I'm like, clearly you guys are uncultured.
Okay. Gainesville, Florida. That album, I love that album, but I like the non single tracks on that one. Does the Lion City Still Roar is really, really good. I like that one too. But let me see the track list so I can get the correct names of those songs.
There is when I first heard the album, it was a deluxe edition, and there was an acoustic version of Golden Age of My Negative Ways. To which they used a xylophone.
Oh, cool!
And I'm like, I have been trying to find that for the long because I have the file somewhere. I cannot find
Okay.
it.
I remember I bought that album at Summerfest. Was it 20? God, when did that album come out? 2008. I went to Summerfest in 2008, and that was my first ever exposure to Suburban Legends, and they were fantastic. I saw them again when they opened for Real Big Fish and Aquabats. And it was just incredible. I fucking love Suburban Legends. If you've not checked out Suburban Legends, absolutely check them out. They're a great ska band.
I did like Conviction Notice too.
Yeah, Conviction Notice is a great one. I like that one. I also like Devil in My DNA.
Yeah. Settling Sun is a really good one too, but it's kind of one you have to kind of be in a mood for.
Sure.
Like, because it's a pretty hard song for them.
Mm-hmm. Have you heard Silver Linings yet? It's their newest one.
No, I haven't.
Oh, you do. You need to hear Silver Linings. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
Hands down, my favorite song on that one is "Lie to Me." It's so good.
Well, I mean, for See the Light, got to go with Good Enough. I mean, that's
okay.
That's there. Do the Math is another good one.
Yeah. I have a 7-inch single of Do the Math.
And then Give Me Something to Believe In.
Give me something to believe in. Yeah, it's a good one. I like that one. Let's see here. Are we also going to include the EPs as well?
I mean, if we wanted to pick all the EPs, that's a lot to dig through.
I know, yeah, that's an insane one to dig through. That's very true. I would say I also really I got a soft spot for My Money Is on the Long Shot.
Yeah,
hands down one of my favorite Less Than Jake songs of all time. Also, American Idol's really good too.
that is the perfect song for anyone who has felt dejected.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Functionally everyone at some point.
well, yeah, I mean, it's but it's the perfect like sitting at the bar, bummed out song. Like it kind of just is like, oh yeah, they get me.
Mm-hmm.
All I gotta say is Less Than Jake has done the best punk rock song that was never a punk rock song ever. They covered the opening to Laverne and Shirley, which if you read the lyrics to that song is like the most fucking punk rock thing ever. It's amazing.
Yeah, that one's from what the hell is it called?
The TV
Yeah.
EP. They also did They Say a Man Should Always Dress for the Job He Wants.
The free credit report dog.
I say another really difficult one would be is to try and narrow down a good set list for Real Big Fish.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because they're so all over the place for them.
Oh yeah. And especially when you have you'll have their sarcastic songs, and then you'll have the more serious ones.
Like Where Have You Been? I fucking love that song.
Yeah.
It goes so hard.
Oh yeah, it does. Let's see here.
Did you know that the bassist and sometimes lead vocalist for Less Than Jake, Roger Lima, has a YouTube channel?
Really?
Mm-hmm. He does bass tutorials and will randomly play Fortnite on stream.
Nice.
But yeah, the that one show that I went to, Summerfest. It's a big like music festival in Milwaukee. And what was really kind of funny about it is that Less Than Jake were the headliner for their stage. Their whole set list was, or their whole show. I can't remember who went first, but it was Big D and the Kids Table, Suburban Legends, Goldfinger, then Less Than Jake.
Nice.
And what was really funny about it too is that they have like they'll have like a whole bunch of different stages at Summerfest, and they had like all kinds of different bands playing at Summerfest, right? And that particular day, the headliner was Stone Temple Pilots. They went on at the same time as Less Than Jake, and Less Than Jake drew a huge crowd that dwarfed Stone Temple Pilots.
Interesting.
It was amazing. It was so cool. Like we went there, we got there like right at the beginning of the show, so we've been there like the whole day. It's like me and a couple of friends, and so like we watched the show from the beginning. And when it got to Less Than Jake, Chris, he like points out, he goes, Diamantis, by the way, the lead, one of the lead vocals and guitar for Less Than Jake. He just goes like, I'm just looking out at the crowd here, and it's so crazy because it's so much bigger than fucking Stone Temple Pilots. And then I just turn around, and I couldn't see anything but people all the way out to the lake. It was just literally a sea of people. It was incredible.
I remember the first Warped Tour that I went to. Green Day was performing there, and I had hyperextended my knee. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to watch them set up. And then I'm going to back the fuck out before I lose my shit. And I think Papa Roach was going at the time. And so I'm like, all right, watching them set up. They're doing their sound check. And the guy announces, he's like, oh, yeah, that's the last song, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to turn around and get the fuck out of here before I get trampled. And I turn around, and I am up against it. I have no place to go.
Okay, so we went to another festival called Riot Fest in Chicago, in Humboldt Park, back in 2013. And my roommate did kind of the same thing. He went up to just kind of, one of the bands that played there was Guar. So of course, if you go into a Guar show, you want to get as close as possible so you can get sprayed with blood. Unfortunately, I wasn't, but my roommate went up to try and pick through the leavings after Guar finished to try and see if he could get some spirit gum or something like that so that he could take home. But while he was there, he was just kind of milling about. And it got to the point where the next act, which was Andrew WK, was setting up. And he was just kind of looking around, and then all of a sudden, Andrew WK, they start their set, and he just looks up and looks back, and he can't leave. He's been completely boxed in. But he got really really close to Andrew WK, so that was cool. And it was the same thing with me when Dropkick Murphys played, because Dropkick Murphys came on before Less Than Jake. Less Than Jake immediately came on after Dropkick Murphys. So I was right up in the front for Dropkick Murphys, and then when Less Than Jake comes on the stage, I couldn't move. So it's like, okay, fuck it, I guess I'm here then.
Yeah, I remember because I took my older son actually to. I'm like, hey, we're going to do a concert. It's going to be outside, so it's not going to be packed together. And he goes, so who are we going to go see? And I go, it's Real Big Fish and I forgot who opened for him, but I remember taking a picture, and I was trying to talk to my friend about what the hell, propaganda, and
Oh, okay.
I'm like, you want to know the true definition of propaganda? And like, I don't remember the name of the band that was playing before him, but I think they were either a local band or somewhere around the region. But everyone was like, throwing their hands up, like dancing to the song. And I took a picture at just the right time where everyone's hands were extended out in a Roman salute. And I go, "This, sir, is propaganda." And my friend's like, "How the hell did you get that?" I'm like, "It's right there. Like, you just, I could turn this into something so horribly bad just because." And I'm like, I just happened. It's one of those things you just happen to see it. It's like, oh, I have a joke here, like, and I think it was the best way to describe it. It was a Mad Caddies cover band, like.
Okay. Well, Mad Caddies is a good band. So.
Yeah. They weren't bad, but like I'm just like they're too Mad Caddies to like not be Mad Caddies.
Yeah. It kind of sucks like when a cover band gets like really, really good and imitating one band, that like it kind of just becomes their thing, and it's like, man, kind of sucks. Play a variety of stuff.
Yeah.
Don't pigeonhole yourself.
But yeah, the Queers were playing too, and I was kind of hoping that we would make it in at least before they started playing. And we were waiting in line for drinks because the kid was thirsty. So I'm like, we'll get in line. And yeah, they started playing like a Parasite, and I'm like, oh, I kind of wanted you to mosh to that. But and he was, I think, 12 or 13 at the time, so he was completely out of his element.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying to think of like when my first show was. I definitely wasn't that young.
So he ended up, I ended up losing him at the
concert.
Oh no. So there was me and two of my best friends and my son, and he ended up just in the ether somewhere. And I'm like, oh shit. Well, as it turns out, he went looking for me because I went to the bathroom. I'm like, don't move from here. I'll be right back. Well, and then he was looking for the bathroom. And so we kind of just were, walking around in circles away from each other. He ended up finding a security guard, and he's like, yeah, I lost my dad, do you know where the bathrooms are? He's like, well, you can stay right here until you find him. And so they put him on the side of the stage. And as they were leaving the stage, Aaron Barrett actually handed him a set list. And something else that he handed him. I can't remember what else but it was, but yeah, I got him a sign. He has a signed poster from there. But yeah, he also got
that's really cool.
Yeah, Aaron Barrett handed him the set list from there. And I'm like, where'd you get that? And he goes, yeah, that guy gave it to me. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And he goes, who's that? I'm like, that's the lead singer. Like,
that's the lead singer, Ruben Coates. I actually got to have a beer with Aaron Barrett. They did the last RBF show I went to was at the House of Blues in Chicago, and immediately afterwards they went after the show was done. They went to the bar at the House of Blues, and then they went to the next bar across the street, and had like a meet and greet sort of thing. So I was able to shake hands and say, tell Aaron Barrett that he was a formative figure in my teenage years.
Oh. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's a super nice guy. Even though in like all of the Rubik Fish and Aquabat stuff, he's known as the rock and roll villain. He's actually a super nice dude.
Yeah.
It tends to happen with a lot. They're either absolute bastards or they're really nice, and there's not really a in between when someone's playing villain after villain after villain. Or playing the villain of a group.
Well, especially when he's the only actual member left of the band.
Yep. But I'm saying that when you get the reputation of being the quote villain,
Yeah.
it's always that is either the nicest fucking person that you would meet, or they're actually that much of an asshole in life.
Oh, what time are we at? We're at 1:30?
We're at just past midnight.
I think we're getting late enough here. We can probably call it.
Sounds
you guys
good.
all right? You guys good with that?
Yeah, works for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Well, Quiz, thanks for joining us tonight. We'll definitely have to catch up one of these times. When you're not muted.
Sorry, I'm at work. I was in the middle of doing something. Doing stuff.
But yeah, Sanguine is up tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Same Minions time, same Minions channel.
Yep.
And with that, the zoo is closed. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night, all.
Bye, everybody.
Fuck off.
That's mean. Say it loud.
Thank you.